In Dragon Age Origins, while trying to restore the order to the Circle, you discover a grimoire about Flemeth, and Morrigan takes a big interest in it. What she discovers in the grimoire horrifies her. According to the grimoire, Flemeth isn't an immortal. To extend her life, she has a daughter. Once the daughter becomes of age, she takes over their body. This results in the daughter dying. That's Flemeth's secret. Morrigan is freaking out and tells the Grey Warden to go and kill her, but she can't be there to witness it, just in case Flemeth casts a spell on her. To make sure the deed is done, Morrigan asks you to take something as evidence. One trip later to Flemeth's hut, you find her and confront her about the grimoire. Being the queen that she is, she laughs at your face and is like, "Sure, a bunch of stupid men wrote made up stories about me, and you and Morrigan fell for it." She gives you an offer though. She'll give you what Morrigan wants. In exchange, she escapes and you leave her alone. So, the Grey Warden is put into a situation. Do you go with Morrigan's plan and kill Flemeth, or do you accept the deal and trick her instead? There's a third option too, but more on that later. Also, we're keeping this to Dragon Age Origins. In the later games we do learn more, however I want to keep this to the first game, like what do you do in the moment. So, let's cover each option in more detail. Siding with Morrigan first. Why should you side with Morrigan? So, at this point in the game, Morrigan is asking her friend, or romance partner, Ahhh, for help. She appears to be angry, but actually she's afraid. For real, Morrigan is such a complex character. I really need to make a video about her. For real. Anyhow, for the first time in the game, she's quite vulnerable and putting her trust in the Grey Warden. You are her friend, maybe lover. She's potentially might die, and you're the only one who can save her. You wouldn't let poor, sweet, caring, innocent, adorable, beautiful, totally not a bad person who wants to trick you, called Morrigan, die, would you? Sorry. Then there is the idea of Flemeth using little girls as daughters, shaping them up, and when they come to age, killing them and taking their bodies for herself. It's heartbreaking, it's horrible, it's vile. If this is true, we have to put an end to it. How many little girls have been used, exploited, just so Flemeth can keep her health? It's not right, it cannot carry on. So yep, Morrigan is all knowing and the grimoire is all true. Flemeth is a monster, that's a good enough reason to kill her, right? No. We gotta look at the other side and why you shouldn't side with Morrigan, and for real, there's quite a bit of reasons why you shouldn't. Let's go over them. The obvious reason is how reliable is the grimoire? Like, it's not proof. It isn't proof. How could a bunch of men in a tower come to the conclusion that Flemeth uses such magic? They have none. All they have is rumours and whisperers, and fake stories. Flemeth mentions that a lot of people love to retell different stories and changing it, making it sound more wild and wilder. What's next? She devours her daughters? Plus, it's really telling that Morrigan just accepts the grimoire as proof without a second thought. And this leads to my next point. Morrigan, I love you. You're my queen. You're amazing. I cosplayed you. I worship you. But you are a massive fool. You can act really wildly. No pun intended. You have been with your mother for a long time. You know her the best. And it's ironic that at the same time, you don't know her at all. Yet, you believe the words of men in a tower. Of course, I am not taking away how emotional Morrigan is. And yes, she is scared. That's completely valid. It's justified. I understand her. But she's basing her judgment on emotions alone. She needs to step back and breathe. She doesn't even consider the idea of talking to Flemeth. Nope, she has to die. So is that really the best course of action? The Grey Warden is going to kill Flemeth because Morrigan said so, and a bunch of men wrote made up stories about her? Is that really the best idea? Plus, the fight is hella tough. Trust me, I know. So, it's Flemeth's turn. Let's dive a little deeper when siding with her instead. It must be said, Flemeth did save the Grey Warden and Alistair. She allowed the Grey Warden and Alistair to recover in her own home. Can you really turn your back on her after what she has done for you? She saved your life. So, Morrigan and some dumb men have no proof at all. But we do know that Flemeth saved you. Flemeth reminds this detail to the Grey Warden as well. In addition, don't you think it's odd that Flemeth sent Morrigan to aid Alistair and the Grey Warden? If we do believe the whole body stealing thing for a second, why risk getting Morrigan killed? That's pretty risky. For someone who needs her to extend her life, why take the chance? Then there is the alternative plan, tricking Morrigan. For real, this is the best reason to side with Flemeth. Number 1, no one dies. Number 2, Flemeth leaves you alone. Number 3, this actually fools Morrigan, cause it's Morrigan. I love you, Morrigan, but you get fooled so easily. I'm sorry, baby. 4, to quote Alistair, it's fun being a bad man. Like, she saved you. You can trust her more than some book that men wrote. Her plan is serial great. Oh, and a bonus reason. Her boss fight is tough. Don't go hunting a Flemeth. It's bad for your health. So yeah, at this point, siding with Flemeth is like the best choice. But still, are there reasons to not side with her? This was kind of tough to think about, so here's what I thought of. So she refuses to confirm or deny the story. No matter if your persuasion is matched, you can't get her to talk. By the way, when you know who Flemeth is, of course you can't persuade her. That's how amazing she is. She will only joke around about how stories about her keep getting more and more wild. How you and Morrigan are idiots to believe it. It is a little sus, I guess, but in my opinion, it's just funny to her. Of course she's not going to take it serial. Then there is a little detail that doesn't really get brought up much, and it's really important. Flemeth was a really bad mother to Morrigan. According to what happens in the Fade with Morrigan, it hints at the idea that Flemeth used to beat Morrigan. She smashed the mirror Morrigan stole. It's like she isn't being a caring mother, because she doesn't see Morrigan as her daughter. Why would she if she's just going to use her? And going into Dragon Age Inquisition, I know what I said in the intro, but shut up. Morrigan is so kind and sweet to her baby, and it's because she doesn't want to be the mother Flemeth was to her. And that means Flemeth really hurt Morrigan bad. Like, really bad. In a way, her cruelty towards Morrigan speaks volume. This doesn't prove anything, but it's still an important detail. So, siding with Flemeth is the best outcome, and personally I do it all the time in my playthroughs. There's no consequence, side with her. But there is another option, and even though I don't do this, it's still a sensible one. Don't choose a side. You don't know, and you will never know. Why choose? Stay out of it. As Flemeth says, follow your own song. Hell, one of my favourite quotes in Dragon Age Origins is from Flemeth herself. When you tell her you don't know what to make of the situation at the start of the game, she says that where most people would call you a fool, your words hold much wisdom. It's completely valid not to choose a side, but side with Flemeth because you gain so much for free. Morrigan is happy, Flemeth is happy, everyone is happy, even Alistair. So, that was a fun video covering Flemeth's Grimoire. What do you raiders think? Who do you choose to side with? Did I miss anything? Let me know. See ya.